Hey guys, Jack Boyle, Steam Engines USA. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a great day. I was wanting to just come and share with you guys a kind of a little bit of story about my history. As an encouragement, I'm pretty excited this month because I will, me and my wife, our family, will be paying off a home that we bought, about 20 years ago. Not sure about you, but for me, it's a pretty big deal when you pay off a mortgage. Um, but there's a story behind that where at one point we could have filed bankruptcy. And so I'm going to kind of share a little bit of a history about one of the situations, one of the houses that we own, and kind of what led up to it and where we're at now as an encouragement. Number one, to thank God and just give Him the praise for His wisdom and guidance in my life, but also to encourage you because, um, sometimes hard work pays off, and sometimes the path least traveled is really the best path to take. So, um, what got me thinking about this was today. Uh, I found out my credit score shot up. Now it's about 775, and I'm trying to get that up over the 800 point mark. Having great credit is a good thing, but it's not everything. But kind of a backstory: we built a house many years ago, and I did stupid stuff. It was long before I started really learning about money and how to use money and investing and things like that. And took out equity loans, and next thing you know, this $115,000 house, we owed like 170,000. And at the time, everybody was saying, the houses will go up in value, the houses will go up in value. And so I never had a thought or a care about it. Well, that was about 10 years ago, and the housing market crashed. Next thing we know, the house is only worth, 140, 135. And we had bought another house. We was planning to downsize, and which ended up being a rental. But um, the interesting thing is, I look back and I remember just feeling so beaten down. It was a really tough time in my life. I was working all the time, working extra duty, trying to get ahead, trying to develop a plan. And pretty much everybody I talked to said, well, you just need to file bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is the answer. You have, almost $80,000 in credit debt, credit cards, like, you know, um, not a good asset, but just liabilities. It was terrible. Did stupid stuff, but uh, I was like, no, yeah, I'm not gonna file bankruptcy. I owe the money. I'm gonna pay, what I owe. So we got in, I guess, turned on to the Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, which is a great course, by the way. And we went to our local church, Longdale Baptist Church, and they had a class there. It was like a 10 or 12 week class. I don't remember now. But we went through that, and it got us thinking about a different way of handling debt, having good debt versus bad debt, and then no debt. um, but I really started snowballing and attacking that credit debt. And we tried to sell the house, wasn't able to sell the house. I literally just couldn't get rid of that thing. We were just so upside down in it. So, long story short, kept paying on it, kept paying on it, kept paying on it. The years went by, the debt comes down. And I, worked hard. I did a lot of wheeling and dealing. And so, as time goes on, the numbers start balancing out. I remember at one point we got to a place where the house was worth like 160, and that's about what we owed on it. And we still couldn't sell it. The housing market was so bad, we couldn't even sell it for 145. So we ended up renting it. We ended up moving, and the housing market continued to go up, and we kept paying. And I had other investments going on, and some of those investments paid off, And so fast forward this month, well, actually, probably the end of this month, we're going to pay that mortgage off completely. So from going over $80,000 in debt to this month in 2021 to paying that house off is pretty awesome, It wasn't easy, and it was a lot of tears, a lot of stress, a lot of thinking and planning, and just having a plan of what to do with your money, every single dollar, every month, having an actual budget, and then just the diligence to make sacrifices and take care of that is, the encouragement that I'm sharing. A lot of people, it's kind of I don't know, it's a difficult video in that nobody ever likes to talk about anything negative in their life, any negative, financial decision or just anything negative. Everybody wants to have like the best image forward and try to appear better than they are. I don't know, maybe it's just human nature, but I'm sharing this because when you have a plan with your money and you're try to do wise things, make good decisions, the outcomes are really great. So me and my wife work really hard, and we still do every day, and just that diligence pays off. So I was sitting here tonight getting ready to go to bed and had a lot of things I was thinking about, and I said, not to be boastful, not to say, hey, look at me, but just to be true and genuine, because I feel certain right now in this world, economically, with the COVID impact, people are struggling, and I feel that pain. I know where you're coming from because I've been there, and I may go there again. Life is unpredictable, and it's all about this journey. But it's for me right now. I can see the last 10 years and how God has blessed me and my family, and being diligent, not taking an easy way out, but working hard, sometimes 3 and 4 jobs. I remember one time I literally worked 4 different jobs, not full-time, 1 full-time job and 3 part-time jobs. And, God just blessed us. And here I am now paying off a mortgage on a house that we've had half our lifetime. So if you're out there struggling, this is an encouragement. Stick to it, and so the beautiful thing and just the way God works is just truly amazing. A house that we couldn't get rid of, that I tried many times to sell, to essentially get out from under, that probably most people, I would say the average person in that situation would have filed bankruptcy. It would have been an easy way out, but stuck to it. And so now that house is worth twice what we bought it for. It's twice what we were trying to get out of it. I mean, it's about $250,000 now, and it's paid for. So it's really amazing. It's something that when you're young, when I go back to my 27-year-old person, 27-year-old self. Um, I just didn't know, you know. Being a little bit older, a little bit wiser. I'm 47 now, soon to be 48 years old. And a lot of the things I know now, I wished I knew when I was younger. So wherever this video finds you, if you're that young father who's trying to lead your family and you just feel like you're upside down and you got, just covered up with bills, stay with it. Work hard, take those extra jobs, focus on your family, focus on God. I would say that is the number one biggest thing that I can tell you is in everything and all things, seek first Christ. And when you do and you look at things in this world from that perspective, it's kind of like all the noise goes away. And I like folks like Dave Ramsey. He's pretty famous now, but 15 years ago he wasn't. And everything that he taught is still good today as it was then. But he helped us in his Financial Peace University putting together a budget, the debt snowball, kind of, a lot of stuff I knew, but some stuff I didn't, and some stuff I thought I knew better than anybody else, but obviously I didn't. So setting that up, setting a good budget up, accounting for all your money, and then just making good decisions. And, since then, we're just really blessed. And it's amazing to see how God has used things in my life that at the time I thought was overwhelming, like an insurmountable just wall. How do you get past it? And then fast forward with using God's wisdom and discernment and learning, and I would read and study a lot about finance. I could probably be like a financial consultant at this point in my life. Money manager. I've done a lot of things, been blessed with a lot of things, but I think the key is to share. If we share the knowledge and encourage others to not make the same mistakes that we make, that's priceless. So if you're struggling today, if you're uncertain, hey, how am I going to get ahead? Stick to it. The last 10 years have been good, but it's been hard. And having that faith and confidence in God to see me through it, and just Christ to lead me as not, only a father, but as a husband, and as someone, in my community and in my role and my job, and just the impact that I get to be a part of people's lives. It's important. It's good stuff. So don't get caught up in the world of money and bills and stuff, but focus on the things that are important and be wise. And if you don't know very much about finance and money, take the time to learn. Every day I read something dealing with money and finance. It's not only interesting, but it is very helpful. And there's been many times in my life where I've had a friend, a coworker, a family member, someone who was also struggling or who also needed help, and I had the answers. It wasn't that I was smarter than anyone. I'm not the smartest cookie in the box. But I've been there, or I had gained wisdom and knowledge about a certain issue or topic, and I was able to share that and help someone. So I'm pretty excited. I think it's a pretty awesome thing being able to pay off a mortgage on a house. that I've had half my life. Well, not quite half, but close to 20 years. So you never know. It doesn't make me a rich person. Doesn't make me smarter than anybody. But it does tell me that the fundamentals about money and finance work. And if you stick to it, no matter where you're at right now, if your life's going well and your job's going well and you're able to pay for everything, great. And if you're not and you're struggling, check out Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace. Learn about the debt snowball. Learn about a 0-month budget where you account for every dollar that you make. You allocate it to every expense that you have. And I'll share too, in the most difficult times, I started paying all my bills weekly, which sounds a little crazy. It's a little weird. Takes a little more energy. But I found I was able to balance life, money, and expenses, keeping up with it every week, every Friday. So even today, all my bills that come out, power bills, Duke Energy, you name it, insurance, whatever, I pay everything weekly. Sometimes the billers don't really like it. They just want a one-time monthly payment or whatever the payment plan is that people have. But I pay it weekly, and it's been a good strategy, and it's worked well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I was just reflecting on that tonight. Some of you will probably find this video very boring and useless. Some may think, well, you're just wanting to talk about your life. Not really. Life is hard, and most of the time people don't want to talk about it. But I got to thinking, I was like, man, God has just brought me a long way in my family, all the years of my life, and I'm seeing now how He used some very difficult times in my life to teach me lessons, and now we're being blessed by that, and it's kind of compounding. So I hope this comes across transparent and not too corny. And if you're that person that right now is where I was, 10, 15 years ago, well, hopefully it'll help you. And if you have any questions, you can always message me or something. But yeah, so stick to it. If you're struggling right now, set your budget, stick to that budget. And like I've heard it said many times from many different people, you always pay housing, transportation, food, and power. Those are the main four. Everything else doesn't matter. Now, somebody say tithing, but that's a given, right? And some of you folks aren't Christian. You may say you are, but you're not. And I'm not judging. I'm just being funny. But not everybody tithes. But you have to have shelter. You have to have a place to live. So pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your house. You have to have transportation to get to and from work to make a living. You have to have food. Otherwise you starve to death, and you're no good if you can't work because you can't eat. And then power. You got to keep warm. You got to, take a bath, clothes, laundry, what have you. Everything else, secondary. You pay those 4 things, and then get you a budget together and start attacking the rest of your bills. And as you do, they start going away. Get you an extra job. It don't have to be a lot. It can be a little bit, just a little bit more than somebody else. And that starts adding up. And then eventually, you end up in a situation where you don't really have to work. You work if you want to. And eventually, if you learn enough about investing, you build up passive income through different means, and you can retire at any age. But it's a lot in that last minute of conversation there that would take hours and hours to explain. But anyway, keep working at it. Don't let people tell you can't do it. Listen to people that have been there. Listen to people that offer wisdom. Listen to people that offer suggestions and information, and they don't stand anything to gain from it. They're not trying to get anything from you. And every year it'll get a little bit better. Every week it'll get a little bit better. And you'll look back on your life and your time and realize, hey, that was a blessing. And then you reap the reward. So not saying life will be great and that everything will just be perfect, but it's about that journey. It's about the journey. So I'm just sharing. I'm pretty excited about that. Honestly, I never even thought about a day when I'd pay off a mortgage. So I got a couple more mortgages to pay off before I retire. So I still got goals, and I'm still working, and I'm still hustling, and still helping people, because that's what it's all about. And taking care of my family and looking after people around me. So so I'm making this video. Hopefully it helps you, encourages you, and thanks for watching. Have a great day from High Point, North Carolina, Steam Engines USA.